At 8 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, police respond to a vehicle fire. A witness saw a man in a gray hoodie toss a lighter into the car and walk away. 10 hours later, on the cold shores of Lake Michigan, a hiker notices something strange in the driftwood.
They're walking see that leg right there? Yeah. Said that it was up about approximately where the end of that stick, branches.
By the bushes right there.
Yeah, bushes, said that they saw it up
so
there.
It's like up on the hill, kind of? Yeah. Okay.
The car belonged to 19-year-old Sade Robinson. The discovery on the beach was all that was left of her. To understand the horror of what was found on that beach, we have to go back just 24 hours. The victim wasn't just a name on a police report. She was 19-year-old Sade Robinson. Sade was the definition of ambitious. She was a criminal justice student just weeks away from graduating. She worked 2 jobs, one at a pizza shop where she was known for giving free slices to the homeless, and another at a country club, just to make ends meet. By all accounts, she was hardworking, beloved by her community, and had her whole life ahead of her.
Hey guys, welcome to the vlog.
On April 1st, 2024, April Fool's Day, Sade was excited. She had a date planned for that evening with a man named Maxwell Anderson. They had arranged to meet for a seafood dinner at a spot called the Twisted Fisherman. On paper, it seemed like a normal night out, but there was a stark difference between them. Sade was a 19-year-old student living her best life. Maxwell was a 33-year-old former Navy serviceman, a well-known bartender in the area. At 5:20 p.m., she texted her friends. She arrived at the restaurant. She was happy. She had no idea that this seafood dinner would be the last meal she would ever eat. The night started normally enough. They finished dinner around 6:30 p.m., but instead of ending the date there, they decided to keep going. They moved to a second location, a bar downtown called Duke's on Water, and this is where witnesses, and later surveillance footage, started to pick up on a strange dynamic. While Maxwell appeared to be having a great time, chatting with people nearby, Sade didn't. She looked bored, detached, like she was just waiting for the night to end. But she didn't leave. At 9 p.m., they walked out of the bar together. They got into Sade's Honda Civic and drove to Maxwell's house in Southeast Milwaukee, arriving at roughly 9:30 p.m. But investigators found something else that night, something that suggests this wasn't just a date gone wrong, but perhaps a fantasy being played out. Digital forensics on Maxwell's TV showed that when they went back to his house, they watched Netflix, specifically an anthology series called Love, Death, and Robots. The episode they watched is titled The Drowned Giant. The plot of that episode is chillingly specific. It features a giant human body washing up on a beach, where it is then dissected and dismembered by the locals. Parts of the body are scattered and taken as trophies. Prosecutors allege this wasn't a random choice. They believe Anderson was watching a simulation of what he planned to do just hours later. For the next 3.5 hours, Sade's digital footprint goes dark. We know she was at his house. We know they were there together. Investigators would later allege that this is when the date turned into a nightmare. Then at 1 a.m., her phone suddenly starts moving again. It leaves Maxwell's residence. It travels through downtown Milwaukee. And then, deep in the middle of the night, around 3 a.m., it pings at a location that should ring a bell: Warnimont Park.
I just cleaned my boots too, dude. Man.
Stand by. I have the on-call sheet. I'm trying to figure out what we can do.
What's up, man?
So this is Evan Millies. We've dealt with him before. Sometimes, mostly a good guy. He's gotten into this trouble a couple times, but good dude.
Okay.
So they walked down the S curve from Sheridan and started walking south just for fun, rough day on the beach. As they're walking, see that leg right there?
Yeah.
said that it was up about approximately where the end of that stick, that branch is.
By the bushes
Okay.
right there.
Yeah, bushes. Said that they saw it up
So it's
there.
like up on the hill, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Said that him and his buddy, who's in my squad right now, walked out, called us, and then when we came back, it was about, I don't know, maybe 7 feet
He's by the rock.
I moved it just for evidence purposes.
Okay, so this gets swept away?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I documented it well on body cam with different angles of where it was. And
All right, cool. All right, we got a... What's your name again, bud?
Evan.
Evan? Okay, Evan. How long were you out here?
About probably an hour.
An hour?
Yeah.
Okay. You usually come this way?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's going
The
to
first
be
time you seen
Marco.
anything here?
Yeah.
Number if you need it.
Yeah? It's the first time you seen anything like this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Coming.
All right, Evan. Just hang tight. Don't go anywhere, okay?
Yeah.
You can hear the absolute shock in Evan's voice. He's struggling to process the nightmare he just stumbled upon. But here's the most chilling part. The deputies standing on that beach think they are dealing with an isolated, unidentified victim. They have no idea that this discovery connects directly to another crime scene, one that is already smoldering on the other side of town.
Super weird because that engine still looks like it's in pristine condition. So. Huh? It didn't even look like, I mean that in the sense of like the fire didn't even touch the engine or any part of the front of the vehicle.
With the car found burning and the gruesome discovery at the park, police had 2 crime scenes, but no suspect, until they checked the surveillance cameras near the fire. Footage captured a man walking away from the burning Honda Civic. He was wearing a distinctive gray hoodie and carrying a tan backpack. He didn't flee into the woods. He calmly walked to a bus stop and took a ride straight back to a house in Southeast Milwaukee. The house belonged to 33-year-old Maxwell Anderson. Police now had a digital trail leading to his door and a physical description matching him. When police identified Maxwell Anderson, they realized this wasn't his first run-in with the law. In fact, his file was full of red flags that had been ignored for years. In 2014, while visiting relatives, Anderson reportedly flew into a rage. He stole a relative's car, crashed it, and then physically fought family members who tried to stop him. He was hospitalized after that incident, but the violence didn't stop. Just 1 year later, in 2015, he was arrested for domestic abuse. The details are disturbing. He allegedly smashed a glass over the head of an elderly relative. Why? Because they had suggested he seek mental health treatment. He had a history of reacting with extreme violence when his control was challenged. He was known to be erratic, he was known to be aggressive, and yet on April 1st, 2024, he was free, working at a bar and appearing to the outside world completely normal. On April 4th, 2 days after the discovery, officers spotted him driving near his home.
cell phone has been on. 45 cell phone has been on for a pothole except for highway.
Maxwell was pulled over in a high-risk traffic stop. Officers swarmed the vehicle. In the back seat, they found a gray hoodie, identical to the one seen leaving the burning car. He was taken into custody without a fight, but the real horror wasn't in his car. It was waiting for detectives back at his house, in the basement. While Maxwell was in custody, detectives entered his home on S 39th Street. The upstairs was messy, cluttered, but relatively normal. Then they went downstairs. This is where the facade crumbled. Prosecutors would later describe this basement as his dungeon, but it looked more like a workspace designed for something specific. Police found a reciprocating saw with a blade that appeared to have blood on it. They found gasoline canisters, the same accelerant used to burn Sade's car. And perhaps most disturbing of all, a friend of Maxwell told police that just weeks earlier, this entire room had been lined with plastic tarps, floor to ceiling. By the time police arrived, the tarps were gone. The room had been scrubbed, but they missed a spot. Technicians found blood spatter on the walls leading out of the basement. They ran the DNA, expecting a match to Sade Robinson. But the results were shocking. The blood wasn't hers, and it wasn't Maxwell's. To this day, that blood remains unidentified. Is it from an animal? Or is it possible that Sade Robinson wasn't the first person to walk down those stairs, but she was the first one whose disappearance finally caught him? While police were building their case against Anderson, Sade's family wasn't sitting idly by. In the days following the discovery of the leg, it wasn't just officers combing the beaches.
They want to have a proper funeral, burial, so we need to find her. And we won't stop until we do.
Hundreds of volunteers, friends, and family members descended on Warnimont Park and the surrounding shores. They were the ones looking for the rest of her, and tragically, they found pieces.
Someone walking the remote beach around 7:30 this morning found a torso and an arm just yards away from Angela Buchanan's home.
I'm definitely on edge now.
The Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office believes the body parts belong to 19-year-old Sade Robinson.
Weeks later, an arm washed up miles away, then a foot. The lake was slowly giving her back. This agonizing process highlighted a massive gap in the system, leading her mother, Sheena, to launch the Pink Alert Initiative, a system designed to alert the public faster when young women of color go missing. Maxwell Anderson was arrested and charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and arson. Despite the mountain of digital evidence, the video footage, and the gruesome discoveries at the park, he pleaded not guilty.
From the bottom of my heart, my deepest and most sincere condolences go out to Sade's family, as well as everyone else affected by this tragedy. That being said, Your Honor, I took this to trial without ever once trying to make a plea deal of any kind, because I did not commit these crimes. And so I plan to appeal my convictions, while I hope and pray that further investigations not only prove my innocence, but find and deliver true justice.
He has refused to speak to authorities. He hasn't explained why a first date ended in such horror, or whose blood was really on those basement walls. He sits in a cell, silent, leaving the families of potential other victims to wonder if they missed a monster hiding in plain sight. But this story isn't about him. It's about Sade Robinson. In the wake of her death, her mother, Sheena, didn't just grieve, she fought. She launched the Sade's Voice Foundation to protect other young women and support families navigating this kind of unthinkable tragedy. Sade was supposed to graduate on her 20th birthday. She didn't get to walk across that stage, but through the noise of the headlines and the horror of the crime scene, her name is what remains. Not just as a victim, but as a daughter, a friend, and a light that was extinguished far too soon.